All right, guys, today we're going to be designing our own shoe, and you have a couple options. The first is to simply print out a template from the PDF on Google Classroom. There's a lot of different style shoes, and you can pick one that you want and print it out and then just decorate the shoe. Or if you don't have a printer or you want to create your own design or style of shoe, you want a little bit more creativity, you can go ahead and draw your own shoe. I went ahead and drew this shoe. I wanted it bigger, and also by drawing it and tracing it, I can watercolor. If I'm using a template, I can use Sharpies, crayons, colored pencils, markers, anything like that that's dry, oil pastels and chalk pastels even. But if I want to watercolor, I have to draw it out and trace it because I cannot watercolor printed ink. It will ruin the ink from the printer. The ink from the printer is not waterproof. All right, so now that I've drawn my shoe, my next step is to go ahead and trace it so I have a nice outline, and that way when I draw my designs, I can erase as many times as I need to without ruining my shoe. Alright, now that I have my whole shoe traced, I'm ready to erase my pencil lines and start designing. And I can do any kind of design I want. I should probably sketch with pencils first, and then I can add color later on after I'm done drawing out my design. So the best thing to do before you start drawing is to think of a theme for your shoe. What is your shoe about? Is it a spring shoe, a summer shoe, a winter shoe? Is it going to be an abstract design? Are you going to have animals on it? Is it about sports? So you can think about any type of shoe that you want, and then that theme is what will decide on your designs. All right. So I'm going to get my pencil lines erased and come back with my pencil to start drawing. I'm going to make mine about a lightning storm. Alright, once you've designed your shoe, you can also decide if you want to do something in the background or if you're going to leave it plain. You might do a simple pattern in the background or maybe something that complements your shoe. So since I have a stormy shoe, I'm actually going to do a sunny background. Some other possibilities for your background could be something like a simple pattern or even a solid color. You could do stripe lines, wavy lines, zigzag lines, polka dots, something simple to complement your shoe. Or you could just leave it blank and do it one solid color. From here, you can decide if you what kind of materials you want to use and if you want to trace or outline first. So I'm going to trace with skinny markers and color with colored pencils, but remember that you can choose any options depending on what you think would look cool and what you have at home. All right, I'm going to start tracing my shoe design now as well as my background. So I have some skinny markers here that I'm going to use. And when I'm done with that, I'll be coloring with colored pencils. Remember, this is just one option. You guys can do whatever materials you have at home that sound like fun. Just make sure you don't watercolor unless you drew your own project. If you did a printout like this one instead, you can't watercolor this because this ink is not waterproof from a printer. So now that all of the outlining and tracing is done, I'll erase my pencil lines and then I'll come back in with colored pencils. Make sure before you erase that you make sure the ink from your markers is dry so it doesn't smear. I have my outlining done in marker, and now I'm going to color with colored pencils. Remember, when you're coloring with large areas with colored pencils especially, you want to use this side of your color and you want to color in round, oval-like motions. That's going to help fill in your space without having a lot of white streaks on your paper. Okay, I finished coloring my background, so now I'm going to color my shoe. You'll notice I'm using some shading and blending techniques, going darker to lighter. I'm also coloring my lightning really boldly, and that is so that they stand out. So you can use some of those techniques, pressing harder or softer with your colored pencils to get different effects. It's also making this stand out more than the background because I am coloring some things very thickly, and I outlined my shoe with the marker. Those things all help to bring attention to the shoe itself, which is the focus of our project. So that's something that you can think about while you're working. All right, I have finished my shoe design. It's all colored and ready to go. So when yours is finished, make sure that you take a picture of it, upload it to Google Classroom so I can see what you've been working on. And I can't wait to see your creative ideas for a shoe.